Hello, everyone.
We're live now. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Okie
Session
dokie.
number 4 already. Can
Perfect.
you believe that?
All good.
Session number 4 of 7. So we've got 3 more. We've got 3 more Thursdays to do after today. See if you're logging on there. That's good. I'm just going to turn my sound off on the other bit.
Okie dokie.
Otherwise, that'll really annoy us. There you go, right?
Gonna
Can I
grab
kind of
it.
hear myself twice? There's no spiders, so I'm good that way. My cat's been out, it's now asleep, so I'm good that way. I'm not going to get disturbed off the cat. And yeah, we're going to do session number 4 today, all right? So what I'm going to cover today, so me and Daniel's going to be here today. Daniel's going to be there as a bit of support in the background in case anything goes wrong technical-wise.
That's the one.
Hi, Daniel. Thank you.
Hello.
So we're all going to look at muscle types. I know last week we did look at the heart, all right? Now, the heart is a cardiac muscle. It's involuntary, all right? So what that means is the heart will pump without you having to tell it to, all right? So it'll automatically keep pumping all of the time. We did a little bit of a quiz on it last week. If you did miss that, if you go to our YouTube channel, you will be able to catch up later and watch it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously,
right.
It'll not be like live feed or anything, but you can still see what the content was, have a little go at the quiz and things like that, all right? So it's all on there anyway. But today we're going to look at the other different muscle types because people sometimes don't realise that like organs and muscles. And Daniel's demonstrating skeletal muscles, all right? Hey, Daniel, do you know what that is?
Yeah, that's
We know you're so strong.
This one right here.
What is it though?
That's a bicep,
Don't
right?
say arm. Yes, I thought you were going to say the arm muscle. Yeah, it's your bicep, right? So I am going to go to.
That one's a tricep, right?
What, your shoulder?
No, that one there, right? Down here. It's hard to tell.
Oh yes, I can see it bursting through your top there. Yeah, Daniel's massive. He's so ripped.
Oh man.
But yeah, like all of the internal organs are also muscles as well. Right? So we've got skeletal muscles and we've got organs, and we are going to look at both of those today. We've got a video from Rob. I've not seen it this week, so it's going to be a surprise for me as well. But I'm sure if it's like any of the others, it's going to be amazing.
I watched a bit of it.
Have you seen some?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Well, Anthony did send me a selfie shot of him after it was last week, but he'd completed the session. I think it was number 2, the bodyweight exercise that Rob did outside. And he was knackered and he said he was aching for about 2 or 3 days after, so he could still feel it. He's also done the ab workout, and I think he's enjoying picking them up whenever he wants to, and just trying them out. But the second exercise video, I've heard it from Anthony, and it definitely works. So,
I think, Rob's a machine, man. It must be so hard.
Makes it look so easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, because he's like smashing this workout, and he's like remembering what he's going to do next, and he's like talking him through it the whole time as well.
Natural,
so I think it's
totally
so
natural at it.
That's solid.
Genius. He's saving me a job anyway. I thought, I like watching them.
Yeah. Me like cup of tea watching it. Like, that's awesome.
Cup of tea in my hand, couple of biscuits. Loving life, yes. So I am going to look at the muscle types today. And hopefully you'll just for some of you it will just be a recap. For some of you, you might remember quite a bit from being back at school or just stuff that you've picked up over the years. Some of them might be new, so there might be some muscles that I mentioned that you've not really heard of. But hopefully you'll build on your current knowledge and you'll gain a little bit of new knowledge today as well. So what I'm going to start with, if you can go grab a pen and paper. I always do a bit of a task at the start just to see how you get on. We've got a word search today, all right? So it's not like the typical word search where you can circle on the screen. So don't start drawing on your computers and highlighting bits on there. But get a bit of paper and just write down. I want you just to write down like all of the muscles that you can find in the word search. So have a little look.
Okay.
Daniel's already said bicep might be in there, right? And tricep. He's already given you 2 little clues there, right? So those 2 words might be in the word search. It's not a word search where all the words are listed, but I want you just to look through and see if you can find any.
So I'm going to open
So I
that
think
word
Daniel's
search
going to
now,
put
yeah.
that on. Yeah.
There we go. We are.
So
Yeah, there
a
you
little
go.
bit of a clue, right? We'll give you.
Tell you what.
I might give you about just over 5 minutes. I think. I don't think we'll spend too long. If anybody finds, I think there's 11 in there. I think there's 11 different muscles that I've put in. If anybody finds 11, you can just comment in the chat, and then I'll know roughly that we've spent enough time on it. So I think there's 11. I'll check. I've got the answers. I can check at home. But if you write them all down, they only go horizontal and vertical. There's nothing diagonal, and there's nothing backwards as well. So that might help you find them as well. But yeah, good luck. Have a little go of it. And let me know if you find any. I mean, if you find any, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't mind everybody helping each other out here. So if you do spot one, put it in the chat, and then other people who are also live can search them and try and find the same word that you found. Also, if you find any random words, there's bonus points. All right, I've not put them in on purpose, but you never know. You might find the odd word in there, and I hope there's nothing inappropriate in there.
You never know with a word search, right? Because that could just happen because it's randomized. So.
I've watched Countdown before, and there's when they've brought those letters out, there's been the odd random word spelt, and I've thought, oh God, that needs to be took off air, but it's still put it on. Oh, I'll tell you what I found, which I didn't know was on there. Fred.
Right, yeah.
Every time I say the word Fred, it reminds me of Drop Dead Fred. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, of course. With what's he called?
Brilliant.
Rick Mill.
It's brilliant. What a funny movie.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Movie. That's the one.
Drop Dead Fred. My dad was a bit like Drop Dead Fred. Like when we were growing up, he would always do daft little pranks and things.
Is he like magic or something? I'm sure he is, isn't he?
Well, kind of. He's just he's a bit naughty, really, though. Like he would always be quite naughty.
Okie dokie.
Oh, let's have a look at the chat there. Is anybody put anything? On a rest day today. Next workout, the bean can work out. Exactly. Fred was your granddad, Anthony. Oh, your granddad's in my word search. Yes.
Awesome, man.
Lisa said, nice muscles, Daniel. Hatham said, you look so strong and so butch. He knows it.
That's the one.
We're all strong and butch at Media Savvy.
Yeah, I wish. Man.
Oh, nice hair, guys. Thanks, Lisa. We're all clean for the live show.
Yeah, no hat today. There's no hat there for me, so.
No, we've got a headband here.
Yeah.
Where's your headband? You've got your.
This is kind of a headband. It's like almost a headband. Yeah,
we're doing headband day to day. Has anybody found any muscles yet?
I've got a few. I've got a couple so far.
Yeah.
I saw this before, but
skeletal muscles.
I forgot. So I'm like looking at them now, and I'm saying like, oh, I know that one, and I know this one.
Yeah.
So. I saw Fred there. I've just saw Fred as well.
I know, it's the first. I jumped out. Oh, I found race as well.
Oh,
further down from Fred.
Kind of related.
And then soil. If you go down underneath race, soil. This is what I used to do, a word search, to see what other words I could find.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying.
Love it.
So is it? It's horizontal, vertical, and there's some diagonal as well, right?
There's nothing diagonal. I thought I'd keep it easy. Oh, Anthony's got 4 or 5, but he hasn't wrote them down. Well done, Anthony.
Go on, Anthony's done. Good job, man.
Oh, I've got the word pin and ping.
Wow.
Love it. You'd think I'd put these in on purpose, and I haven't. I really haven't.
Let's see.
Oh, my nana's name's in there, Raya.
Really? That's a really nice name.
R-I-A. Well, she was called Mariah, but we used to call her Raya.
That's a cool name.
Oh, she was brilliant, my nana. Very, very naughty, but very funny.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking for like other words now. It's.
I think I've named them all.
Maybe diagonally, right?
Non-diagonally, but there might be some. Oh no, I found one that I'm not going to read out.
I think like actually, as I've been doing this though, I think
I'll tell you that one later, Daniel, when we're off air. I found one. Oh, dear me. Can't believe I spotted that. That's naughty. All right, we'll just spend another, what time? Maybe 2 more minutes, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that all right?
Give
Yeah, just a
plenty
couple
of time
more
just
minutes.
to kind of go through them.
If anybody does want more time, just please comment in the chat, and then we're normally about 30 seconds behind on the chat, but we'll definitely see it within the 2-minute window. So if you do want a little bit longer, we just put it in there, because I'd rather give you a little bit of time to try and find all 11.
Yeah. But yeah, we're at 17 minutes past now, so maybe if we go to 20 past, and then I think
go to 20, yeah. Another 3 minutes, yeah. Then we'll move on from there and we'll go through the answers.
I think that I have about the same as Anthony. I've got about 4 or 5 at the moment. But I think there's a couple more on there.
Charlotte, please don't worry. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting about you, bless you. I need to do something a bit.
This is my worst
different next time.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry, Charlotte.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be sure to mix it up as well.
Yeah, I'll definitely get something different on for next time. And then we name that picture or something like that. We'll do something a little bit different.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one as well. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Charlotte, do you find this harder than the unscramble words? Just wondering if you find this a little bit more difficult than the unscramble. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that I should try and maybe steer away from. Not sure. 2 more minutes. Oh, I found the word gale.
Really?
So if you go 4 lines down, straight across to the G.
4 lines down, 1, 2.
And then straight across from that, there's a G on the 4th line. Can you say it?
At the top or at the bottom? So if we go here, so
from the top. So if you go down from the top,
yeah,
4 down, and then straight along. So down, 4, then along. And then there's a G-A-I-L, Gale.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah. Oh.
You got it?
I don't think so.
4th line down from the top, there's a G.
Okay, so if I go
more on the right-hand side.
On the right-hand side, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So
there
from
it
the
is.
top.
4, yeah, I've got it. Yeah. So here we go.
We got it?
Yep. So there, it starts there. You can see that. There you go.
You got it?
Gale. Yeah. Good. There it is.
Love it.
Yeah, so guys, if you guys notice any names or any other words in this as well, please do let us know. I think we've got quite a few of them, but that was a good spot, that one there.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
We're Gale and
like Elvis on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then
anything with spelling words is hard. All right, I'm going to try and do something a little bit more visual next time than Charlotte, because it's a bit unfair that you're missing out on this little part of the intro, because I do like to do something at the start of each one just to get like a bit of engagement. So I will try my best to do something a little bit different.
Absolutely. That's
all awesome. Right. I believe we're on 20 minutes. So what we'll do, we'll go to the next slide. These are just the answers, but what I'll get Daniel to highlight all the different ones. So that now I'm putting Daniel under the spot, because I'm hoping he can see what I can see.
Yeah, so we're okay, because we're okay to show all the answers now. That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, you can go to the next slide. So we'll show all the answers. So
there we go.
Anthony got glutes, hamstring, bicep, deltoids, quad. Oh, well done. You got 6 there. That's brilliant.
Oh,
right,
well
so if you go straight along the top line there, so you can see
maximus, is that the one?
Gluteus maximus, right? Now, it sounds like a Roman god, right? Now, possibly could be, because do you know what muscle that is? It's your bum, all right? It's your backside. So gluteus maximus, it does sound like a big muscle, and it's actually your biggest muscle. So your bum, it's definitely my biggest muscle. So your gluteus maximus is your buttocks, all right? So it's quite a big muscle. And what you'll notice, actually I've not got a diagram to show you, on your skeletal muscles, the fibers are quite straight and the wrap. So if I can show you, I'll try and lift this up. I don't know whether you'll be able to see enough. See this diagram here? Can you see, if I look at the chest here, how there's like stripes this way?
Just put this in a bigger screen. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So if you can see, like down the bicep here, the muscle fibers run straight down. Along the chest, the muscle fibers move across. All right. So in order to work those muscles, like in order to work your bicep muscle, let's move my screen a little bit later. If you move extension in and out, yeah. If you do that movement, yeah, like you flexing your arm, your fibers move in and out, and that's how you work that muscle. That's how you make that muscle stronger. So you would go out, and then you're flexing in. All right. So flexion and extension. Flexion's in, extension's out. So when it's out and extension, your fibers are stretched right out. Look at Daniel. He's a natural at this. Oh, a little wing at the end there. So flexion, right in. So when you flex, when you right in, when you tension that muscle, all your muscle fibers, they don't change. They just squash together. So you get that lovely little bicep bump. Yeah. But you couldn't work your biceps any other way. It needs to be that type of movement. So there's a lot of different movements that you can do through that, right? So you could do, I can't really show you on it. So you could do a curl where your hand goes straight up like this. So that's called a bicep curl. You could also do a hammer curl where you turn your fist round to this angle and you're kind of hitting the top of your hand towards your shoulder. So it's slightly different because you've got that little twist on your arm. You've also got exercises where you could lean over a bench. Mm-hmm. You've got like a concentrated curl. So what that's doing there is it's stopping you using your body to lift the weight up. So your arms will be fully extended over a bench. And because it's a concentrated curl, you really concentrate on that muscle. So even though it's the same movement, you're going to probably rip more fibers. And I'm saying rip, it doesn't sound very nice, but when you're ripping them, they're going to come back stronger. So have you ever had that feeling? Daniel, have you ever had that feeling when you've had a workout and like the couple of days after you are like bruised to bits? You are so sore.
All the time. Yeah, every time, most times I work out, like I'm like, but
and
sometimes...
I know Anthony felt that the other week. Yeah. I think he was messaging saying, "Oh my God, I'm still aching and I'm going on a walk and I'm still not feeling good." But that feeling that you feel when you've ripped your fibers in your muscles, they're going to come back bigger and stronger. And eventually what you'll be able to do is lift more and more and more because those fibers are going to be able to tolerate that load. Yeah. Right? But you've got to do it slowly. You've got to build up slowly.
I always think that's crazy. The fact that like the process of growing muscle is literally by, ripping it so it heals and gets bigger. And it's like crazy, but it's like a form of like concentrated like stress to your body, right? And it's like the stress response is helping those fibers grow, and you're getting bigger and stronger because of it, because your body's saying like, this is, we need to make ourselves stronger so we can lift this, because we're trying to lift something that's currently like harder for us or arduous for us. So it's pretty cool.
Have you ever tried to pick a box up or pick an object up? And you've went, "Whew, that's heavy," and you've put it down, then you've lifted it again, it's been all right.
Yeah, definitely.
That's because, right, so you visually, when you look at an object, because you tell, so skeletal muscles, when we said about cardiac muscle being involuntary, your skeletal muscles are voluntary, so you have to send signals from the brain to your muscles of how many fibers you need to recruit to pick up that object. Wow. So if I said to you, pick up that kettlebell and it didn't have a weight written on it, looked quite small, your brain might think, oh, it's only light, it's only little. And then when you pick it up, you might initially get a little bit of a, oh, actually it's heavier than I thought.
Definitely.
So, but then the next time you pick it up, your brain remembers how many fibers you're going to need to recruit to pick that object up.
Wow.
So this is what happens. And obviously, the heavier you go, and sometimes it's like a mental thing. Yeah, but I'm just reading the feed there, so I'm getting distracted. So Protein in our diet helps muscle fibers recover after we've torn them. You also need carbs as well. So protein and carbs fuel the muscle. Carbs will help build, repair, and maintain the muscle mass. Carbohydrates are going to fuel the muscle again, all right, and give it the energy that it needs to continue. So you need both in the diet. Try not to cut carbs out. Like, I know people do these low carb diets, and I might cover fad diets at some point, because I think there's a lot of myths and there's a lot of things that need ironing out.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but carbohydrates are really, really important, especially when you're training, because if you haven't got the energy, you're never going to be able to lift those weights anyway. So it all works together. It's just getting that balance right for you.
Yeah, you see people on...
no, that was a good point, yeah.
Definitely. You see people on like zero carb diets, and you just see how like depleted they are, and like how much like coffee they're pounding and stuff, because they don't have the carbs to give them the energy.
You can't think straight. You haven't got the energy. So if we go back onto the crossword, so I was just trying to explain there about muscle fibers and how your brain has to recruit them, right? So this is how it's a voluntary action. So unlike your organs in your body, like things like your intestines and things like that, where they work and non-stop, and you cannot control that. Your heart, all right, even though it's got its own, it's called a cardiac muscle. You don't control your heart; it will just keep going. Obviously, you can make it faster and slow, and we'll look at that later. But it's not a voluntary muscle. The skeletal muscles are, okay. So gluteus maximus was the big long word across the top line. Now, if we just go down, and then we'll do the horizontal ones afterwards. Is that right?
Yeah.
No, we're doing horizontal now. We're going to do vertical later. I always get them.
I do as well. So horizontal that way, and then vertical, yeah.
All right, Daniel, let's do the big box up. All right, sorry, moving down. So third line down, bicep. We've just done biceps as well, all right? Front of your arm. So front of your arm is your bicep, and then if we go along from there, on the same line, we've got deltoid. Now, deltoid is your shoulder, all right? Now, it wraps right around your deltoid, right? So it's quite a big area, and there's a lot of exercises you can do for that. So, do you know when I said about the muscle fibers, if you would ever look at that, they kind of wrap around here, and they go over the top as well. They do cover your whole shoulder. And they actually go up into, well, they join your trapeze a little bit, I suppose, but your deltoid covers a big area. So there's a lot of different exercises you can do, like rotator type exercises. You can do just flies. I love that Daniel's like trying these out at home.
Well, do you want to know something?
What do I want to know? Go and tell me.
Well, ages ago, I used to lift weights a bit ages ago, and I tore my rotator cuff, like doing like upright press. Which was way too heavy, and when I was like doing rehab, that's exactly what I would do. Rotator cuff exercises, like that one, and like one like that as well, and so that helped a lot.
Thing is, if you injure your shoulder, it does limit a lot of the other exercise that you can do. Like even something like a press up isn't. You couldn't put that pressure through, because it's like a stabilizer muscle as well. It does. Definitely. Like even to do a plank or something, even though you're not necessarily using your shoulder muscle for the shoulder exercise, it does help with a lot of the other movements.
I think because I kept training as well, I've got so much scar tissue in that area. Like even now, I can only really do dumbbell bench press because it doesn't really hurt my shoulder. But if I do like a barbell bench, it starts to hurt my shoulder on the right side. So you're right, totally. Like it's affects other exercises sometimes. So
it does, and like something like a compound move, like what you've just mentioned there, like where you're using a lot of muscle groups at the same time, you don't realize that you're recruiting fibers from your shoulder, and obviously you've got an injury there. No matter how heavy that is, you're going to feel pain after a while. So deltoid was the third one. If we move down a little bit further onto line 5, from the H going across is your hamstring.
Right.
Hamstring is at the back of your thigh, all right? So I'm not going to like start lifting my legs up in the air, but it's at the back of your thigh, all right? So it's like up from the back of your knee, and that's your hamstring. And a lot of footballers get like tight hamstrings because they're overworked, and when I talk about extension and contraction and flexion, they're not stretching enough to get those fibers back, so they get tight hamstrings. So massages and good stretching is really, really important if you're going to train with weights, just to prevent injury. The next one that goes straight across, and I think it's just on its own further down, about 4 lines from the bottom, trapezius.
Right, yeah, got it.
So your traps, it kind of goes like right up into your neck, but it's the back, so it's quite like triangular. And a lot of people, if you ever had like a lot of stress and a lot of tension, this is where you'd probably feel it. So like if you're doing a lot of like shrugs and things, or you're lifting a lot of heavy weights where you're flipping them and then pressing them above the head, what you'll find is your traps will like lift out and bulk out. I love that you're doing all these exercises, Daniel. You're like going, you'll be sweating at the end of this tutorial.
Yeah, I'm not doing Rob's workout though, because then I will be sweating. But maybe later, but not today.
And at the bottom there, we've got quadriceps. All right, so your quads. The reason it's called quadricep, all right, so quad meaning 4. You've actually got 4 strands of muscles that are on the front of your thighs. And again, there's a lot of different exercises that you can do to work all those different parts. This is why we do like a wide squat, a narrow squat. There's different things that you can do to see a movement, but you're targeting different areas. So yeah, it's worth, like, if you really want to take your training a bit serious, have a little look and see what you could do to target those different bits, rather than just be like, I'm going to do some squats, I'm going to do some lunges. Like, see which part of your leg that you're actually working doing that. But the reason it's called quadricep is because there's 4. So that was the 4th. That was the one on the bottom. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the moment. So what I'm going to do now is go across. So the first one is gastrocnemius, right? Now this is one that a lot of people might not have come across. And it's actually like your calf muscle. So it's down in the bottom of your leg. Do you want to lift your leg up there, Daniel? Do you want to show us your calf muscle?
Okay, hold on. Let me give me 2 seconds. Whereabouts is it on your leg?
It's your calf. That's it. They're beautiful. Look at that lovely calf there. Look at that. So that's your calf muscle. All right. So warmed up before today's show.
I know, I was going to say.
And then the next one across, so the very next line, so the second line, latissimus dorsi. Right now, this sounds like it's some kind of meal. It's your lats. All right. So if you were doing, have you heard of a lat pull down, where you would grab the bar above your head and you would pull it down, or you'd pull it in front, and you work in both sides of your back. So those are your lats. Oh, look at that beautiful movement. So smooth.
Like that, I think, right? But yeah. If you're doing that on your front, obviously it's good like that, I guess.
So we've got latissimus dorsi, right? So if you move along to line 4, we've got triceps. So that tricep is at the back of your arm. Now, but muscles always work in pairs as well, right? So when you're training, make sure you work your biceps and your triceps. Don't just do one or the other.
Yeah.
Because this is why you'll get injured, and your body will lose posture. All right. So you'll end up like, if you worked your chest and your biceps too much and not your back and your triceps, what would happen is, I'll show you, you'd end up like hunched, where you wouldn't have the flexibility to put a bar over your head, because you've tightened your muscles up this much around the front of your body. Yeah. So you need to balance it out and do both. It's the same with ab exercises. If you do a lot of ab exercises and you don't do anything on your lower back or stretch off, you're going to end up where you'll have back problems, So you've got to do them both. It's you've got to be careful, because you don't want any injuries. And if you sit at a desk quite a bit, or a computer, you shouldn't be just going home doing ab exercises. You need to think about getting that posture back and stretching up, and do some strengthening on your back. Do some things around your spine. It'll help keep that balance.
I get such good advice, because I think everybody all guys I think want big arms, right? That's like the goal. But then I think people obviously, as you're saying, they would like neglect the triceps maybe. Yeah, and also I think like with ab exercises, I know that a lot of it you incorporate your hips as well, like your hip flexors and stuff if you're doing like sit ups. So yeah, you like you're saying stretch out and like make sure you work your lower back. Obviously, I think as well, you're right. Because I'm sure
definitely.
that would help a lot.
Well, I used to train a guy. Oh, it was probably about 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. I used to train him, and he didn't have the flexibility to get a bar so over the back. So it didn't matter how strong he was on his legs or anything like that. He couldn't do certain flexibility moves. So what we did, we worked on his flexibility for a little bit before we started adding the weight. That was our program for a little bit, just to try and build up that flexibility. Because I think sometimes you have got to go back over in your training sometimes to move forward. There's no point if you've got bad technique or you're not lifting properly, where it's dangerous, or you're going too quick, you're trying to progress too quick, you'll end up injured and going back over. So you're better off taking a few steps back and building yourself up. Get advice. Ask people if you're not sure on how to lift something, and seek advice and just see if someone can guide you through it. Because once you get it right,
it's like
you'll then be able to lift more as well, because your technique's good.
It's like, I think as well, you see those guys in the gym, right, where they're kind of like leant forward a bit, and it's what you're saying. It's because maybe the chest and the arms are overdeveloped, but they haven't trained the back enough. So it's like it doesn't look as, obviously they might have a little bit of muscle, but if they're leant forward, like hunched over, it doesn't look as good as someone's like they're upright and then it's equally distributed, right? You know.
Thing is, if I know, like I'm probably gonna, if you roll forward like say 20-30 years and someone's still like that, and they're like quite old, then they're gonna probably have trouble breathing because everything's crunched up and they're not be able to sit upright, and just little things like stuff that you don't really think about. Like you've got to try and balance things out, and do it save as you can, but think about balancing those muscles out. Don't just do one or the other. Try and have a program where you work your entire body. Where did we get up to? Oh yeah, tricep. So the next one along is pectorals. So that's your chest. All right. Now we mentioned about pectorals. The fibers run this way, so they run across. So I don't know if you can see. So you would do things like fly. So you would take your arms out and in. That type of movement. You normally be on your back. Press ups. If you think about a press up, so you're going down. That's stretching your chest and pressing back up. So you're still kind of extending and bringing those fibers back together, right? So you're still doing that movement with the fibers. So your fibers, what happens is when they're stretched, they'll be like this, right? I'll show you with some straws, right? I'll get my straws out. See, here's a little prop I made up earlier. So if you think about, so these here, right? These are muscle fibers, all right? So at the minute, they're stretched out, right? So that's if you were, Daniel, if you can stretch your arm out for me.
Stretch, what am I stretching?
Just your arm, as if you're going to do a bicep curl. So stretch your arm right out. So at the minute, if this is Daniel's arm, right, his fibers are stretched like this. Now, if you can contract that muscle and bring your arm in, so if you can flex your arm in toward, that's it. So what he's doing there is he's tightening all of this. Now, you can't really see it with the straws, but what would happen is those muscles would like bulk up in the middle. So these straws are smaller than the other ones, so they're going to go out and in, yeah? So flex out, in, extend out, flex in, and that's how you would rip and work your muscle fibers. The key is to get the, thanks for that demo, the key is to get the right amount of weight to recruit as many fibers as possible. Too heavy, you won't get that movement. Too light, you might only recruit a few of them. So sometimes people, like, especially females that I used to train, they'd be frightened to lift up heavy weights. Now, they're not really benefiting from that workout. Well, they are because they're doing something, but if they lifted just a little bit heavier, they would get the benefit and they wouldn't bulk up. The reason that you do put size on is particularly blokes as well, because of the testosterone in their body. Women don't have the same level of testosterone, so all that would happen is you would rip your fibers, they would repair, and you would gain like a nicer shape. You wouldn't necessarily bulk up. You would just get that nice. I hate using the word toned. I don't know why. I just don't like toned, but that's like the word people will use. But it just gives good shape to the body. If you did light, yes, all right, you're burning calories, but you're not recruiting the fibers like you should be. So you need to try and still push yourself to lift the right amount of weight for you. I'm getting sidetracked. I love talking about.
But it's interesting stuff, though, isn't it? Because you as you're saying, you see like I've seen a lot of like girls say stuff like that about like, oh, I want to get toned kind of thing, and they'll just kind of they'll take like a kind of random rep range or something, and they won't do it consistently maybe, and that's what you're saying, isn't it? It's not really, it might not be that effective if it's depending on the circumstance, right? So
no, and I think a lot of females are worried about putting on size, putting on bulk.
Yeah,
but it's not. It doesn't happen. The only way you would put on size and put on bulk is if you started taking steroids. Right?
Yeah.
Like for a female, it isn't a natural thing for your body to do. You're not gonna gain size the way you think you are. You would just gain strength. You would burn more calories, and you would gain a good definition on your muscles. That's what would happen. The more muscle you've got on your body, the more calories your body burns when it's at rest as well. So it's important to do some muscle training as well.
Yeah.
And as you get older, if you train with weights, what you'll find is your bone density will increase. So you're less likely to develop things like osteoporosis, brittle bone, because you've strengthened your bones up. You're still creating, they're called osteoblasts. So you've got osteoclasts, which are, they'll break your bones down. Osteoblasts build up your bones and strengthen them. And by doing resistance training, you're still making those osteoblasts work. So you're making them keep pushing. When you're younger, like kids need a lot of calcium in their diet. I think I mentioned this when I did the food session quite a while back. Kids need a lot of calcium in their diet, and that's for bone building. As you get, I would even say over 30, once you hit your 30s, the amount of calcium that your bones absorb isn't as high, all right? So you need to do other things to keep your bones strong. My great nana, like her bones were so brittle, and your bones do shrink as you get older as well. And she was turning the bingo ball. She was doing bingo on I think it was Christmas Day, or it was between Christmas Day and New Year. She wanted to do the bingo ball, and she must have been in her 80s, or even, I can't remember how old she was when she passed away. She was either in her 80s or early 90s, but she was turning this little bingo ball around, and her arm just popped out the socket.
Wow.
And that wasn't because of brittle bones, that was because her bones had shrunk, and obviously the socket's still the same size. So if you think about your ball and socket joint, it ended up being like that. So it just pops out easier, so you're more likely to get dislocations, broken bones as you get older. So if someone fell and they were a lot older because of brittle bones, and brittle bones means that your bones have like little holes in them. And I think we're looking at the skeleton next week, so I might cover that a little bit more in detail next week. But because you've got these little cracks and little holes in your bones, they're just weaker. So they will, if you fell, normally people fall and then just get straight back up. If you fell and you're a lot older, the likelihood of having a fracture or a break's quite high. So
and you hear about it all the time.
Weight training can help that.
Right.
Weight training can really, really help with keeping your bone density stronger. So I've totally been sidetracked. I was talking about pectorals. How did I get under bones and osteoporosis?
I think it's really good advice, because you're breaking a lot of myths about like people thinking that gaining muscle is it's only to look good, and it's not. As you just said, it can. There's a lot
of health reasons.
Yeah, a lot of health reasons, right? So yeah.
And you can eat more if you train with weights and you've got decent muscle mass on your body. You can probably chomp away at a few more calories every day, and I mean that's a bonus for everybody. Eating's my favourite pastime. I could eat for Britain. It's my favourite hobby.
Oh, I love
and the last one is your abdominals. Now, the abdominals, I'm on quite big on here. I am on
let me see. Sorry. Oh, yes.
So your abs, yeah. So your abdominals, I don't know if you can see that, but your abdominals, the fibers run straight down. And there's actually 2 strips of muscles. People think your abs go like that, yeah, in 2s. The strips this way.
Ah.
There's 2 long strips of muscles, and you work them by contracting in and out this way. So things like crunches and things would work, but the muscles are actually 2 strips of muscles. And if you ever have a baby or anything like that, what you'll find is these 2 strips of muscles will separate.
Whoa, didn't know that.
They'll separate, and after, yeah, so the 2 strips of muscles, so they're like this. What they'll do, they'll separate down the middle, right? And then what they'll do eventually, after about 12 weeks, it's normally 8 to 12 weeks when someone can then go back into exercise after having a baby. What they'll find is they'll do this like ab test where, because I used to do pre and postnatal, so like I kind of know when someone's okay to do ab exercises after having a baby. So the abs would come back in, and if they did a sit up, you could put 2 fingers between the 2 strips of abs, and what you should feel when they do a sit up is those abs coming back together. You should actually feel that they're coming back in, but they're not attached straight across. It's just the 2 strips of muscles.
Human body's amazing. I didn't know that.
Have you ever noticed someone where the abs are like they're not not like that? They're like, yeah. Well, that would make sense if you think of it being 2 strips. They're just
that's the thing. Out. People don't get like a 6-pack sometimes. Sometimes people get like a 4-pack, but
a ladder.
Like really, or it'd be like really definite.
Like climbing wall.
yeah, exactly. It'd be like kind of up and down. But that makes so much more sense. Yeah.
I know. Right, so that's your crossword. So if we move on to the next picture, it's just a quick diagram. I know I've kind of pointed out where they all are on the body, but this diagram might just show you where each muscle's positioned. So there's 2 different pictures on there. So you've got your anterior picture, which is all your muscles down the front, and you've got your posterior picture as well. Now, something like a deltoid, it can be front and back because it does wrap, like we said before, the fibers do wrap over quite a bit. So even though I've put it on anterior, you can see that muscle from both sides. All right, so we've got deltoid at the top there. Obviously bicep would be on the front of the body. Your pectorals, being your chest, would be along the front. Abdominals, the 2 strips of muscles is on the front, and your quadriceps. All right, so they're down the front of your thigh as well. And then the posterior, you've got your traps at the top. You've got your latissimus dorsi, which is your lats down the side of your back. And there's loads of exercises for those, which people don't really do a lot of. Even like a deadlift would be working your lats. If your technique and your posture is right, it's important to get that right. Tricep, back of your arms, gluteus maximus, don't forget that one. You know, if you do something like squats, think about the amount of fibers that you're going to recruit every time you do a squat. So you'll have obviously all your back muscles, so you'll have all your latissimus dorsi, you're going to have your deltoids if you're stabilizing the bar, you're going to have your abs engaged. Even though you're not working these are all stabilizer muscles that you would need to use to do that movement.
Wow.
Then you're going to be using your glutes. So your glutes, people will call gluteus. They won't say, I'm going to work my gluteus maximus. They won't just say glutes, all right? So your glutes, your hamstring, your quadricep, and even your gastrocnemius. So even your calf muscles are going to be recruited. So if you think about all those fibers working through that one movement, the calorie burn's massive. So by engaging like bigger muscle groups and working bigger muscle groups, you're going to burn more calories in your workout. If you just did an exercise on biceps and triceps, if you just did a full hour on that, if you like, obviously you're going to benefit because your arms are going to be ripped to bits off doing a full session on biceps and triceps. But if you concentrate on all your big muscle groups, the ones that you've got a lot more fibers to engage, you're going to burn a lot more calories than you would work on all your smaller muscle groups. So yeah, that I would say if you are looking to like particularly lose weight and just make your body more calorie efficient, concentrate on your big muscle groups, so your chest, your back, and your legs. Like try and really, and your arms will get a workout anyway. There's all the movements that you do, as we said before, you'll be recruiting fibers from those other areas anyway. But in order to get the best calorie burn, the biggest burn, and probably to see the biggest results, you want to be using your big muscle groups. Do some compound moves. So that's that one, all right? So that's a quick overview of the skeletal muscles. There's a lot more. These are just some of them. These are just your major ones. There's a lot more muscles on the body, but I don't need to go into detail with that today. I'm just giving you a quick overview. So on the next slide, if you can just go to the next one, Daniel.
Absolutely, yeah.
So this one covers different muscle types, all right? So we said last week, like the heart is called the cardiac muscle. Now that is its own entity. Even though it's a smooth muscle, it's also it's got like a lot of fibers attached, so it's not really, it's smooth as in it's involuntary, and it will just go by itself, but it's got the properties of a skeletal muscle because it's got those it's got the fibers, it's got the straws involved, you know, like it's got this movement that makes it pulse, so it contracts differently. And if you ever look at the heart, I haven't got a picture with us at the moment. If you ever look at the heart, you can see all like the way it works around it. So it's only ever found in the heart, and it's involuntary. So involuntary means it's working, and you can't really control that. All right, it's just going ahead in the background. Now, what you can do is speed up your heart. Now, things that would speed up your heart would be exercise. My heart beats a little bit faster if I'm a little bit anxious about anything, or if I'm
oh my god, Sam.
If I'm about to go live, you know, like my heart's going mad right now. Yeah. So like you do, like, but it's good to have that little bit of adrenaline in you. Your heart might speed up if you get excited about something, or if you get some news, any form of drugs that you might have to take, that might speed up your heart. Sometimes you have to take medication and it affects your heart rate. Caffeine. Definitely. So if you have coffee, too much coffee, you would naturally speed your heart up. Ways to go the other way. So even though it's involuntary, you can kind of have an effect on your heart. Ways to make your heart slow down, where it's not beating as fast, could be things like meditation, breathing exercises. When you're asleep, your resting heart rate will go at its lowest. Not only because Daniel's going to sleep. No, I don't need you to demonstrate that, Daniel. He's zenning out. Butter Dan. So when you sleep, you're lying flat as well, all right? So your heart rate will go right down. Have you ever gotten out of bed quick and you've went, feel a little bit dizzy?
Yes.
Yeah. That's because your blood pressure's right down. So if you get up too quick from lying down, you can sometimes get a little bit of a wave, and then you're all right again. That's because your blood pressure and your heart rate's right down, and you are totally relaxed at that point.
It's like I just remembered as well there, like obviously you're so relaxed before you go to sleep, but there's nothing worse than when you have a nightmare in the middle of the night and you wake up and your heart's beating and you're like, like that feeling is so awful when you
do you still get night terrors, Daniel?
I do. I actually do. Yeah.
But yeah, it does it. Or if you've ever had like bad news or anything, you get pains there as well. So things, it's weird how your body responds to things.
That's actually
like
interesting.
A stress hormone can have that effect on your heart. The next one down in the table there is skeletal muscles. Now that's what we've looked at so far. So your skeletal muscles, these are all attached to your skeleton. So they're attached to all of your bones by tendons, and that's what they hang on to in order to move it. So obviously your bones wouldn't move without the muscles. You'd just be like, just a skeleton. You wouldn't be able to even walk. You'd probably just be a heap of bones on the floor.
Oh yeah.
But the tendons, allow you to engage those muscles, and your tendons go right into the joints of the muscles. All right, so they're normally quite like white in colour as well. There's not a lot of blood supply into those, and they're voluntary. So we've said before, you need to make that movement happen. And what we said before as well was, if you don't recognise an object to be heavy, you won't recruit enough fibres to lift that object up. So what you might have to do is reassess it. Next time you lift it up, you'll know what it feels like. So you'll lift it up with the right amount of fibres, but initially you might just get that little bit of a shock. But again, it's voluntary. You have to tell you don't even realise that you're doing it, but your brain's sending signals to that part of the body to make it work.
So interesting.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's all connected, all right? So it's like all of your motor skills, all right? But the more you do it, the more familiar your body becomes with it, and then it builds up, you know. And the last one, we're going to look at that now, all right? So we've got smooth muscles, right? Now, smooth muscles, it's more about how the muscle's made up. So I mentioned before about intestines. So an intestine's quite smooth, but it hasn't got the fibres where this has. It's just smooth. It just like crunches up and it'll move across like muscle-wise. So all of your organs in the body are smooth muscles. And they don't necessarily stretch and contract the way these do, but they will move things along. But your intestines, if you think about that, they're moving food along all the time, and your liver, your kidneys, they're all doing different jobs, and all this burns calories. So even though you're not asking them to work and you're not making them work, all of these different organs in your body are doing a job every single day that you're not aware of, and that burns calories. That needs energy. Energy's calories. Calories is energy. Every day, your body will burn, say, 1,000 calories without doing a thing, all right? And that's because of everything that's working in your body. Your brain uses quite a bit as well. So if you're quite active with your brain, you'll burn a lot of calories as well. But all of your organs, if you think about your digestive system, the amount of calories that burns every day just on breaking down food, passing food through the gut. It all adds up over the day. And then the other calories, so if you eat a little bit more, you're going to have to try and burn it off somewhere, whether that's walking, housework, gym, whatever you want. You've got to try and counterbalance your calories and try and get it where you've got that healthy balance. So smooth muscles, mainly internal organs, and blood vessels as well. So if you think about your blood vessels, they're constantly working, they're constantly pumping blood around the body. Don't think about it, just happens. So they are also involuntary. So what I'm going to do now, if you can maybe use the back of your paper. Sorry, Charlotte, we've got one more crossword or word search. So these are all organs, all right? So what I want you to do is try and find as many organs as possible in this word search. And see how you get on with this today. I'll count up how many there is. So they only go across and straight down. There's no diagonals and there's no back to front ones. All right, I've kept it simple for you because obviously there's no words, so I'm hoping that you'll try and find. If you do find any, put them in the chat.
Yes, please.
Right, so if you find any, put them in the chat, and then it helps other people look for them, all right? So if you find any at all, stick it in the chat.
So we can do it together, guys.
Yeah, and we can help each other out. But we'll spend maybe another 5 to 10 minutes on this, depending on if anybody does finish or thinks they've got them all. I'm going to tell you how many of these in a second. If you do get them all, just put something in the chat as well, just so we know to move on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. I'll just count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Yeah, I think there's 9 altogether. Give it a go, Charlotte. Oh, Gary's found liver. Well done, Gary.
Brilliant. Good job, Gary, mate.
Remember, if you can find any other... Oh, I found flea. Can you see it?
Um,
Oh my goodness. If you go, well, this is madness. If you go along to the third from the right column,
Third from the right. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
and then there's an F in that column, and straight down, flee.
Third from the right, F. Can't see. Oh, okay, I got it. Yep. Yeah.
Can you see it?
There you go, right? It's right there.
Hey, goodness me.
That's the one. That's awesome.
Not on purpose. Hey, my word. Oh, well done. So we've got Anthony's got a few here. Intestines, pancreas, esophagus, lungs. Gary's got stomach.
Brilliant.
Oh, yes, Charlotte's found a new word, test.
Nice. Good. Yeah.
Well done, Charlotte.
Perfect.
Test, I'd give you a quick test is probably in the middle of another word as well. I think that's part of one that was found earlier. Spleen, well done.
Good job, guys. I'm smashing it, yeah.
You're doing really well. So what many have we found between us there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 already, right? So there's 2 more that you haven't got yet.
2 more, guys.
Well done. I'm impressed.
Good job on esophagus as well, Anthony, because that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite long, isn't it?
Yeah.
It goes right across the full length of the crossword. Crossword word search.
Every single letter in it.
Yeah. We've got 2 more to find. I'm still trying to find random words. Oh, I found gear. So if you go second column along, down at the bottom, there's like a G second line up.
Got it.
And then if you follow GEAR, straight up from the G.
Straight up from the G. On the second row, yeah?
Second row.
Down on the G.
There's a G. Then if you go up over GEAR, gear.
Oh, yeah, backwards. Got it, yeah. G-E, yeah, that's the one.
Hey, well, I tell you what. Bonus points for any more words.
Fantastic.
Oh, and we didn't know the spelling until now. Well, you've done a good job in recognising it if you didn't know how it was spelled.
Yeah, if you told me to spell that, I wouldn't have no idea. It's a tough one, that one.
Yeah, well done.
Right, guys, 2 more. How we doing?
Come on, I want the next 2 on the feed. Who's going to find them?
So we've got stomach, lungs, esophagus,
depending what's missing.
Pancreas, and liver, guys.
Oh, yes, I found one that's missing.
I think I've got one here that's missing, yeah. Should we give a clue away soon, Mel, or what do you reckon? No clues?
No clues. Oh, well done, Anthony. Brilliant.
Good job, Anthony, mate. Nice.
There's one more that you need to find. One more. I might give a clue for this one.
Sure thing.
If you have an operation on this, they won't take out the bad one. They'll just leave you with 3.
Ooh.
So they won't necessarily take out the one that isn't working. They will put a 3rd one in your body and hope the one that doesn't work works again.
Interesting.
It's not really that good of a clue, is it?
Well, do you know what it is? I didn't know that, but it's an interesting fact, definitely.
It's yeah.
Very interesting fact.
I think someone's knocking at my door. Just have to ignore it.
Well, I think that
might be another present for Diego.
Oh.
His girlfriend came today. Well, one of his girlfriends, because he's got quite a few girlfriends, my dog. Because it's his birthday today, he's 10. So he's got a little birthday card of his girlfriend down the road, look.
Look at that.
And she got him some treats. He doesn't know yet though, so we're going to keep this until he gets in tonight.
Bless him.
I'm going to make him a cake after. I'm going to make him some little cupcakes so he can give them out to his girlfriends.
Oh my God, what a legend. Happy birthday to Diego.
Doggy friendly ones.
Oh, bless him. Yeah,
I'll be a little doggy friendly recipe happen.
Hope he gets spoiled.
Oh, well done. Kidney. Yes, Anthony, right.
Good job,
Eyes.
Anthony.
Ethan, I can't see eyes on there anywhere.
His eyes actually on there? That's pretty cool.
No, I can't see eyes.
Is it maybe diagonal?
Nah. I don't know. I think you might be winding us up, Daniel. All right, so we'll go through the answers, and I think obviously we've found them all, but I'll just show you where they all are as well. So if we can put the word search on with the answers.
Let's do it, yeah.
And I'll quickly go through that.
Okie dokie, here we go.
So we'll go across again. So we'll do all the ones that are across, and then we'll go straight down. All right, so the first one is the top line.
Yep.
And that's your intestine.
Got it.
Or intestines, all right?
Brilliant.
So what I'll do, I'll go across, and then when we go to the next slide after this, I'll give you an interesting fact on everything that I found something on.
Brilliant.
So you've got intestines across the top. You've got two different types of intestines. I've only put it in once in the word search, but you've got your small intestine and your large intestine, which is sometimes known as the colon. Mm-hmm. And they've both got different jobs. One's to break down your food, the other one's to like absorb all the water and things out. So yeah, different jobs, but the length of the intestines is quite interesting to think all that fits in your body. But we'll talk about that in a bit. So intestines is your first one. Next line down is your pancreas. All right. Okay. Pancreas. Underneath that is the esophagus.
Wow.
I think Anthony got that one, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
And then on line 5, so we'll miss a line, next one down, your liver. Liver's got so many functions, so many jobs. In fact, if you want to have a little look at that later, have a look. It's got hundreds of purposes, the liver. It's a really, really important organ in your body, and you need to look after that.
Wow.
Next one down is kidneys. And that's the one, what I was saying before. If you have a kidney transplant, so you're relying on somebody who was able to donate a kidney as well. So you've got somebody who's donated their kidney to you. So you've got one kidney in your body, one that doesn't work. They don't take out the kidney that doesn't work. They hope that by putting in this new kidney, that your old kidney will start working again. Now, I didn't know this. I only found out, it was maybe 4 years ago. There was a guy on my course, and he'd actually had the operation. And he said, I actually got 3 kidneys. It was one of his interesting facts. And I was like, you've got 3? And I thought he'd been born with like this extra kidney. He went, oh no, like I've had a kidney transplant, but they don't take out that. They might sometimes, but in his case, they didn't take out that kidney that was failing. They just added. I think it's an interesting one. Yeah, I didn't know that until he said he was like living proof that that's what had happened. So I was like, you've got 3, and you've got someone who's donated who's just got the 1. Like, that's a bit greedy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happened there. And then on the bottom, we've got stomach. So on the very, very bottom line, you've got stomach. Yes. All right. So hopefully that's all the ones going across. So the ones going down over, the bottom half of the first line is brain. Can you see that word?
Got it, yeah.
So straight down, your brain, yeah? And sometimes I think, is mine actually working? So brain, first line. And then if you go along to the third column along, spleen. You can see spleen coming off the S in esophagus, yeah?
That's the one.
And then right the way along, second from last, you've got the word lungs going down.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So well done if you got all of those. What's this on? I'm just reading the feed again. Oh, as if you happy birthdays to Diego.
Oh, that's
I know. I can't believe he's 10. He's in double figures. I've got a 70-year-old son. I don't know old enough. So what? That's why they replace. What is he on about?
I think he's talking about the eyes, wasn't he? Was he not saying, because we were saying eyes is not in the thing, and he said, "Oh no, that's what they replace." I'm not sure.
I don't know what he's been on today. Are you eating Diego's biscuits? That's amazing about the kidney, lumpy, bumpy extra bits. I don't know where to squeeze all these extra organs.
I know.
If you move on to the next slide, Daniel, what I'll do, I'll go through some facts on each of the body organs, and then before you know it, we'll be off into Rob's video, and you can do a little bit of a workout today. So, interesting facts, all right? So, the first one is your heart. I'll just find my little notes that I wrote down earlier. So, your heart, one thing that I found out with your heart is it beats 100,000 times every single day.
Wow.
It's the size of your fist, which if you tuned in last week, you would know that fact. But it beats 100,000 times every single day without you having to tell it to do that.
It's amazing, really.
Isn't it? The next one, esophagus. So what I found out with esophagus is when you eat your food and you chew it, it takes 7 seconds for it to get into your stomach from there.
Wow.
So it's a 7-second process for the food to go out of your mouth into your stomach. The brain. So your brain relies on oxygen, right? So without oxygen, your brain would shut down. So has anyone ever done first aid and you've been told, like, just do chest compressions, don't worry about rescue breaths? If by doing the chest compressions, what you're doing, you're pumping that blood around the body, which has still got a lot of oxygen in, because every time you breathe in 21% oxygen.
Yeah.
You breathe out 17%. So if you think you're going to have a lot of oxygen in your blood system, that isn't you. So even though you might think, oh, well, I'm pumping this blood around and it might be deoxygenated blood, it's still got a lot of oxygen in. And your brain uses a quarter of the oxygen that we breathe in.
Wow.
So every time we breathe in and out, a quarter of that oxygen your brain needs, it goes to your brain. So this is why CPR and first aid is really, really important.
Yeah.
For keeping the brain alive, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to prevent somebody getting brain damage by doing those compressions. So yeah, your brain uses a quarter of the oxygen that we breathe in. Now your lungs, this is the one that always amazes me, right? Your lungs, right? So your lungs, you've got 2 lungs. This is I'm going to talk about an average man, all right? So an average man, if you took the lungs out of an average man's body and you spread them, right? So I'm talking about spreading all of the air sacs, all of the outside of the lung, and if you were to spread it out, how big? What big of an area? What size area do you think that's going to cover? What do you think, Daniel?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me.
Oh yes, okay, put you on the spot.
Right, so for a lung, I don't actually.
Shall I give you some options? Would that help?
Well, I know that I don't want to give any of the other ones away, but I know that there's other organs that if you stretch them out, it's really, really long. So I'm guessing that
this is surface area. This is not just like length. This is like covering an area. Yeah.
I would say I don't know, pretty big. Like I don't know exactly how big, but I would say it's quite big.
Like the size of a table?
I would say that. I was going to say a table, yeah. I'm looking at the table here, yeah. I would say it's about the size of this, yeah.
Actually, 70 meters square. So you're looking at the size of like a tennis court.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I would never have expected that. I wouldn't have never.
And when they are stretched to that size, the transparent, you cannot physically see, because if you think oxygen and carbon dioxide go between, it's just like this membrane that you cannot see it, but because of your rib cage holding everything together, your lungs cannot expand to that size. So they're protected by that. But if you take like a deep breath in and breathe out, you'll feel like your diaphragm moves as well, so it's squashing the air out. But yeah, that's how big your lungs can be. It's insane, isn't it, to think that you can have these little things in your body that would stretch the size of a cork that big. It's
so interesting.
It's crazy.
It really is.
Liver. Right, so your liver produces bile. There's loads of things that your liver does as well. Look it up. Have a little look at the liver. It has got so many jobs. All right. A lot of people damage their liver by drinking too much alcohol. And it does kill a lot of the cells. So it can be reversed. I think we said last week when we talked about the heart, if you had a heart attack and it was a mild one, your heart can fix itself. If you have a lot of little ones, it can fix itself. If you have a major one, there might be more scar tissue there. With the liver, you can damage your liver up to about 30-40%, and it will grow back. If you get what's it called with your liver? My brain's gone. There's a disease that you would get with your liver. Once that kicks in, do you know what it's called? I can't even think what it's called.
I know people get psoriasis of the liver if they drink a lot.
That's the one. If that happens, then that can be repaired. So you need to try and get it. Cirrhosis, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you get that condition, it's not reversible. But up until then, if you can try and look after yourself, drink a lot of water, drink a lot of fluid, because alcohol is poison. That's what it is really. Yeah. So if you do have the odd drink, try and have a lot more water with it as well. Stomach is the next one. Now your stomach.
Yes, that's the one.
That's the one. So your stomach, the acid in the bottom of your stomach, it's so strong, right? So if I was to pour the acid on my hand, the acid would just melt straight through my hand.
That's a scary thought.
So the acid in your stomach that breaks down your food, that churns everything up, ready to pass it through the rest of your digestive system. The acid is so strong that if you poured it on your hand, it would just go straight through.
Wow.
Yeah, and it to think that's inside of you as well.
I know.
If you've ever been sick, if you've ever been sick and you've had that burning feeling, that's the acid coming up. But obviously the lining of your stomach's so strong it can cope with it. Your spleen, the job of the spleen is to produce and remove blood cells. All right, so that's the main job of the spleen. Kidneys, we mentioned it before, but one kidney is sufficient. If you've got one kidney working, that is sufficient. That will be enough to keep flushing out all the toxins in your body. Your kidneys also tell you when to go to the toilet and things like that as well. So they monitor the fluid level in your body, and they keep everything equilibrium correctly as well. You've got your large intestine and your small intestine. Your small intestine, the average length of your small intestine in males again as well is just over 7 meters long.
Whoa. And that's the small intestine, right? That's not the
That's your small intestine. So every bit of food that you eat needs to travel through 7 meters in that part of the digestive system. That's without the stomach, without everything else. Some food obviously gets digested a lot quicker than others, all right? So something like steak, red meat, that might stay in your system for 2 days before it passes through, because it takes your body a lot longer to break down.
Right, yeah.
Well, what it is, it just takes that a little bit longer. Whereas something like like liquid form where there's not a lot of breaking down to do, that would pass through maybe in 24, 36 hours, right? So that would go through a lot quicker. Whereas red meat could be 2 days or a little bit longer to get through your full system. Your pancreas, this releases digestive enzymes, and it releases different chemicals and different hormones into the blood as well, right? So it's responsible for quite a few little things that, again, we just don't even think about. I mean, if you've got any of your own interesting facts, I would love to hear them as well. Feel free to put those on. We have got a few housekeeping things to do before I go into the live video, so you can put the next slide on for us, Danielle.
Yes, can do, yeah. That was interesting. That I really enjoyed like that. Look at that. How adorable.
That's my puppy. That's my puppy dog.
Oh God. So cute.
If somebody can put on the link to the survey.
Yes.
That needs to be done, and I want that done ASAP. So don't forget to do the survey, right? Your feedback is so important to us. Without your feedback, we can't continue with these live streams. This is evidence that these streams are taking place, all right? So we need to do a survey for every single video that you watch. So please, it takes a minute. Once the link's on, if you can just click on it, spend a minute doing that, and it's done. It comes straight to us. And I want that done. Session's going to be on every Thursday now, so put it in your diary or make a note of it. It's got another 3 weeks left, all right? Also, I'm looking at the feed. There's a few of you already enrolled on this course. If anybody is in the feed and hasn't enrolled, can you drop me an email and I'll get you enrolled on it? You might as well get a qualification out of it, especially if you're going to be here and you're enjoying it. So
exactly.
Daniel, can you put my email address on there as well?
Yes, I can do. Just here for sharing that.
Oh, thank you, Hatham, for putting the link on. So we've got the Survey Monkey link, and we've got hopefully, yeah, my email address is on there as well. So if you're not already enrolled on the course, drop me an email, and what I'll do, I'll send out an enrolment form. I can fill out most of it for you if you want me to. So if you are interested, as well as drop me an email, maybe put your telephone number in there, and then what I'll do, I'll get the form up, I'll give you a quick call. I'll complete it as best I can on my end, and then I'll send it over for you to sign and just check everything's correct. And then you can email that back, and at the end you're enrolled on the course. I think we've got 11 enrolments so far, so I know a lot of you have enrolled, but we've got up to 20 places on this course. So yeah, if it's something that you want to do, please just drop me an email and we'll get you signed up. And most importantly, it's Diego's birthday today.
Woo! Happy birthday, Diego.
Happy birthday, big boy.
Happy birthday.
10 a day, I know.
Oh,
look at these little chops on that photo, man. Isn't he
so cute there? It's unbelievable.
Oh, that was it. Me dad used to have a pond. I think he's filled it in now, but
yeah,
he used to have a little pond out the back, and that's one of my favourite photos. I think he was about 12 weeks old on there.
So adorable.
He's still as cute now. But
yes,
yeah,
he totally is.
He was 12 weeks old on that photograph.
Yeah,
I know. But yeah, please do the survey. And please drop me an email if you want to be enrolled on the course. As I say, if you're here anyway and you're getting involved, you might as well get the qualification. Not going to do you any harm, is it? So if you've got any questions, just let me know, and we'll get back to you. Was that the jigsaw photo? Yes, Anthony, it was. Anthony's done my Fit Body Fit Mind course, which we have got coming up. Actually, we've got a Fit Body Fit Mind starting next Tuesday. So if you haven't done that course already, that course is coming out soon as well. I'm going to get a flyer out to you on Facebook today. I think I'm planning on getting that out today, either today or tomorrow morning. That'll be out on Facebook, and I'll probably send a few emails out with it as well. But if you've not done Fit Body Fit Mind, I think you'll enjoy it. It's just 2 sessions, 2 Tuesdays. I think you might enjoy that. Oh, look at him. His ears are twitching. He's listening. Diego's listening at us.
Diego's ears are adorable, and one thing I noticed is I was looking online at some Dobies, and a lot of them had like pointy ears, and I noticed that
they're forced that way. So when they're a puppy, when they're a puppy, if you look it up, they've got these like not sticks but stumps, and then what they do, they chop the ears, they cut them, and they wrap them up into over time the muscles will automatically hold the ears like that. So it's not enough. They're not born like that.
Oh, that's awful.
It's what happens when the puppies, and they're kept in those little racks till they're about 9 months old to a year, and then when you take them off, their ears, that's the shape of their ears, and it's to make them look more aggressive, because Dobermans years ago they were guard dogs.
Yeah.
They were meant to look scary. That's what they were bred for.
I didn't know that. I mean, look, but it looks so much cuter and adorable when his ears are down like that.
And they didn't have tails as well. They used to dock the tails, so they never used to have tails.
I've heard about that, yeah.
But yeah, he's got a long tail. So what we'll do now, because we are going to end up running over.
Sure.
What we'll do, we'll take a little break.
Cool. Yeah.
So if you want to grab yourself some water, make a little space. We'll maybe put an 8-minute timer on or something, or a 10-minute timer, whatever you can manage there, Daniel.
Cool, yeah.
Come back, and then we'll put the 30-minute workout on for you.
Yes, so we'll come back at 37 minutes past, so we'll do 10 minutes. Is that good, yeah?
Brilliant, yeah. So we'll go offline now.
Right.
But we'll see you back very soon, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Okay, guys. So yeah, I'll see you in 10, guys. Okay.
And I'll pop back on after the video just to say bye as well.
Okay. Just muting the mics here. Okie dokie.
Hi,
Right. Yep,
welcome
there
back.
we're back. Just needed to make sure. Yeah, guys, just coming back there. Let me know that you can hear me, guys. Everyone hear me all right? Can you hear me and Mel okay? Yeah. I'm gonna say the yes. Okay. So I'm gonna assume that everyone can hear us fine until otherwise. Noted. How you doing, Mel? You okay?
Yeah, all good.
Brilliant.
Looking forward to this workout.
Me too.
Watching it. I've got my coffee ready.
All right.
We'll be here in the background if anything does go wrong anywhere. We will be around just to rectify anything.
Yeah. Someone, just drop me a message if there's any, anything comes up in the workout or you can't hear anything.
But just enjoy it. I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
It should be. Yeah, I think so. Welcome back. Yeah, there we go. All right, so just let me know whenever you want, Mel, and then we'll queue up the video. Yeah, you ready for it?
Go for it. Yeah, put it straight on. We've had a little bit of a break there to get some water, get some space.
Little power break.
Now it's time to get sweaty. All right, and work that heart muscle and all the other muscles. Full body workout.
All right, let's get it on then. I'm just gonna mute your mic for now, Mel, just so.
Okay.
Go. Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So we've got a brand new workout for you to do this week. We're just going to pick one body part rather than going full body like our last couple of sessions have been. One body part we're going to go with is legs. So we're going to be sort of front your legs, back your legs, bum as well, yeah? So we've got quads, hamstrings, glutes. Just going to focus on the lower body. We've got 8 exercises. We're going to do each exercise for 40 seconds, resting for 20 in between. 3 rounds like we normally do. Yeah? Cool. So, like we always do, we'll have a look through your exercises, look at some alternatives and the way we're going to work around any of them if we have any trouble. Before we do that, let's just have a little warm up. Right guys, so to get yourself warmed up, make sure you've got plenty of space around you. I'm just going to start off with some squats down, nice and low, weight in your heels, just warming them legs up, get your hips working. That's it, nice and low. Keeping those heels down. There we go, then we're going to go feet out and touch, jumping in, feet back together. And we're just trying to get them legs nice and warm. There we go, we're going to go into some lunges like we do, either frontwards or backwards, whatever feels more natural to you. Just try and get them legs moving. And we'll go a couple on each leg. There we go, nice one. We're going to just kick them heels up. And finish up with some high knees. Start in front here, get them arms moving as well. We're focusing on getting those legs moving more than anything. There we go, come side on, side lunge across, alternate, a couple on either side. There we go, shake them legs off, should be good to go. Just going to take a minute and look through each of these 8 exercises before we start. Right guys, so our 8 exercises for today. We'll start at the top, work our way through one at a time. By all means, have a little practice with each one as I'm going through. Just get a little warm up with each exercise, get a feel for it. Plenty of practice for when we actually get there during your working set, yeah? So with these exercises, there's a lot of ways to make them either sort of more manageable, a tiny bit easier, just by making little tweaks, rather than needing to completely change to a different exercise. So what I'll do as we're running through, I'll just point out a couple of those things that you can change if you're struggling. 8 exercises, like I say, we'll take it from the top and we'll get in for that first round. First exercise we're going to go with, we've got a squat jump. So on the spot, feet about shoulder width apart. As we're coming down, keep your heels down and keep your chest up. We're going to come down as low as you can, jump, Just get a little bit of air time, yeah? Doesn't necessarily have to be as high as possible. Anyone who's taller than I am, which is everybody, will have to worry about banging their head. Watch out for light shades, yeah? Just get yourself nice and low. Be aware what sort of space you've got to work with. Just on the spot. Just going to be landing into that squat and driving back up, yeah? Like I say, keep that back flat and chest up. Any trouble with the impact, just sort of smaller jumps or no jumps at all if you need to. Yeah? And of course we can take some of that depth out of your squat rather than coming all the way down. Just go halfway if we need to, yeah? Cool. Second exercise we're going to go with a side lunge. So make sure you've got plenty of space either side. Just going to come across, weights in your heel, drive back to start, yeah? Alternating legs every time. Pushing back to start. And again, you get any discomfort in your knees or anything, you can change up your foot position. So either go foot pointing out, foot pointing straight forward. And same again, you can make them a little bit shorter or a little bit shallower if you need to. Cool. So from there we're going into a kneeling squat hold. So you're going to start on your knees, plant one foot, plant your second foot, stay low, back to your knees. Yeah? Up, stay low, down. Any trouble kneeling, problems with your knees, and just go into a hold if needs be. Just try that and hold it there. Cool. So next one we're going to go with a glute bridge. So more for your bum than your thighs. We'll be onto your back, feet about shoulder width apart, feet and heels under your knees rather than out there, and you're going to drive your hips up the ceiling. So you're trying to fire from your glutes, hips as high as you can, just say let them touch the floor and then straight back up. There we go. Now the wider you come with your feet, the more you're going to bring those glutes in. Keep your knees pointed out, just come up as high as you can. Skate the jumps. So next one, we're back to your feet on the spot. We're going to come back to that jumping movement, but this time we're going to spin a 180 as well. So on the spot, up, land, back the way you've just come. If you keep going the same way, you'll just get dizzy and fall over. Same but done. Make sure you reverse the way that you're jumping every time. Yeah, there we go. Same again. Any trouble with your knees, take some of that depth out. You can even just on the spot, just get used to that twisting movement as well. Yeah. Cool, 3 to go. So we're going to go a lunge into a high knee. So you're better off going reverse lunges with these. So stride them back, push forward, knee up. Yeah? Swap. Back, knee up, back to start. So just like a lunge, you're driving those knees up with every one. Any trouble with those, just try your regular lunges, either front or back like we do. Cool, 2 more. So we've got a pulse squat. So standard squat sort of technique, but you're not going to come all the way down or all the way back up. You're sort of halfway in between. Just keeping that tension on your thighs because your legs aren't locking out at the top and giving you a second to rest up. Keeping that tension on, weights in your heels, chest up. There we go, same again. Any trouble, just don't come down quite as low, take some of that depth out. Your last one's going to be a wall sit. So up against the wall, back nice and flat. And you want, same again, your heels under your knees. You're going to slide down to 90-degree bend at the knees. Rather than out there, or right in there, get them underneath. Same again, any trouble, or as we start to tire out, you can come up the wall, just take some of that tension off. Cool. So there's our 8 exercises that we're going to run through. Make sure you've got some water handy, plenty of space. We'll have a second and then we'll get this first round done. Right guys, so first round. Remember all 3 rounds, we're going to be 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest. About 90 seconds rest at the end of each round. Yeah? Just by keeping everything the same all the way through for a change, we can really focus on consistency and focus on sort of like the technique. Rather than worrying about, oh, am I doing 40 seconds, am I doing 20 seconds, am I doing 15? It's all going to be the same, so you can just think about the exercise and take your time and nail it. Right, first one we're going to go with the squat jump. Then we'll go 40 seconds on, 20 seconds to rest up. Let's get going. So nice and low. A little bit of air time. Same again, just be careful you're not going to bang your head on anything. Like I say, it doesn't have to be as high as you can get. Just a little bit of air time. Means you've got to be a tiny bit more explosive. Push the muscles a little bit harder. Keep them heels down, backs flat. Take a second before each one if you need to, yeah? Get your balance. Go again. Get your balance. Go again. There we go, first one done. So we've got 20 seconds to rest up. Catch your breath. Get a breather if you need one. Side lunge coming up. Same again, so you want to make sure you've got plenty of space either side. Deep breaths. And we're going to go nice big stride across. There we go. And just alternate each time. So you'll feel straight away, even though we're not really doing any strict cardio, that heart rate will still come up. And we'll same again, dropping that weight into your heel. Alternating either side. Nearly there. There we go, first two done. You're going to go kneeling, squat hold. So starting on your knees, you're going to swap over, plant your feet, then come back down to the knees. There we go, it's all about control. There we go, rather than rushing through this one, take your time. So from your knees, plant one foot, plant the other, stay down, back to your knees. And again, just keep that back nice and flat, staying down as low as you can. Remember, if you need to, struggling with your knees, just come into that hold, just come as deep as you can, not so deep it's going to cause you any trouble, yeah. There we go, glute bridge. So we're going to give your thighs a rest, move on to your glutes, move on to that bum. So we're going to plant your feet right under your knees, not out there, keep them in close. Come out nice and wide, knees point out. We're going to come hips towards the ceiling. There we go, so because we're trying to get tension on your glutes, give your quads a rest, might have a chance of getting a little bit of a breather during this one as well. You know, so you're just getting your hips as high as you can. Don't just go where it feels comfortable, try and push as high as you can get. There you go, really challenge them glutes. Little squeeze at the top. Just hold for a second, and back down. Just touch the floor, and straight back up, without relying on a bounce, yeah? There we go, nice and controlled. Should feel them tomorrow. Skater jumps, so back to your feet, on the spot, and we're going to be throwing that 180 spin in there as well, yeah? There we go, so same again, make sure you've got plenty of space. Just on the spot, up, jump and spin, yeah? Cool. So like we do with squats, as low as you can. Take your time before you try going into that next one, yeah? Once you get that movement down, you can go from one straight into the next, yeah? Come down as low as you can. Same again, don't force anything. Don't push anything if it's hurting. Couple more. There we go, 3 to go. So we're lunging, stepping back into that high knee, yeah? Alternating every single time. Whew. 3 to go, get this first round done. Oh, so we step back, drive forward, knee up, down, and swap. What we do, take your time, break it down if you need to. So lunge, step through and drive, back down. Just means you've got to be a little bit more explosive with your lunge, carry your leg through. Feeling that heart rate up by now. Nice one, 2 to go, pulse squat. So we're not hitting that full range, remember we're nearly all the way down, nearly all the way back up, but not quite. Plenty of tension on your quads, just in case you're not feeling them yet. 2 to go. Here we go, nice and low. There we are, just keeping that tension on. Chest up, nice and controlled. Maybe you're not coming to the top and locking your legs out. Stay down to keep that tension on. See it, we're feeling them thighs kicking in again. Ten seconds, nearly there. Keep that tension on. There we go guys, one exercise to go. Make sure you've got a little bit of wall you can lean against. Back's going to be nice and flat with your shoulders back. Going to come down to 90 degrees, bend at your knees. There we go, last one. Nice and low. Just hold it there. Yeah, head and shoulders right back. Arms out the way, you don't want them on your leg doing all the work. Keep them out the way with. I know them quads are getting tired. If you need to, just come up a little bit higher, yeah? The higher you can come, generally a little bit easier it's going to be. We're nearly there. Hold that 90 degrees. Your last one. Come on, we've got the full 90 seconds rest coming up. 10 seconds. You can do anything for 10 seconds. Hold it. There we go, first one out the way with. Should feel them legs kicking in by now. Have a minute, we've got 2 more to do. Okay, first round done. Let's get this second one out the way with as well, yeah? So same again, I'm going to be talking a little bit less and focusing on my breathing a little bit more this time through. Still demonstrating our alternatives in case you've forgotten there is something that you're struggling with. Remember, we're 40 seconds on, 20 seconds to rest. Second round, let's go. Okay, squat jumps to start us off. 40 seconds, 20 seconds to rest up. On the spot. Couple to go. There we go, side lunges. So plenty of space, stepping side to side, alternating on each one. So you have plenty of time to rest up in between on this one. Side lunges, stepping across. There we go, alternate. Nearly there. Couple more each leg. Okay, kneeling squat hold next. So we're going to be onto your knees, coming up, plant both feet at the start. Take your time, focus on that control. Yeah, let's go. Plant. Back down. Keep those knees bent as low as you can. Last few seconds. There we go, glute bridge. So onto your back, pull them feet in nice and close to your bum. Feet and knees outside shoulder width. And we're just driving your hips upwards. Try to fire from them glutes. Get as high as you can. See, dig through them heels. See, get that height. Last one. There we go, halfway through. Skater jumps. On the spot, that little squat jump, put that 180 spin in as well, yeah? And we do, just make them a little bit shallower if we need to. Coming from as low as you can, up and spin. Last one. There we go, feeling them. Lunge into a high knee, so stepping back, coming through, kicking that knee through, yeah. 3 exercises to go. Stepping back, come forward, knee up, and switch. Last couple of seconds. 2 to go. Pulse squat. Not quite all the way down, not quite all the way up. Keep that tension on your thighs. Heels are down, chest up. Can you feel that heart rate by now? There we go. So just working through the middle part of that range. All your weight's on your heels, chest up. Back flat. Last few seconds, hold it. There we go, one exercise left. Come on, we're nearly there. Back nice and flat, down to 90 degrees, heels under your knees. Last one. Give my legs a little shake. And also down, about 90 degrees, hold it there. Shoulders and head back. Make sure them arms aren't in there doing all the work. Nearly there, 10 seconds. There we go, done. Okay, squat jumps to start us off. 40 seconds, 20 seconds to rest up. Couple to go. There we go, side lunges. So plenty of space, stepping side to side, alternating on each one. So you have plenty of time to rest up in between on this one. Side lunges, stepping across. There we go, alternate. Nearly there. Couple more each leg. Okay, kneeling squat hold next. So we're going to be onto your knees, coming up, plant both feet, at the start. Take your time, focus on that control. Back down. Keep those knees bent as low as you can. Last few seconds. There we go, glute bridge. So onto your back, pull them feet in nice and close to your bum. Feet and knees outside shoulder width. And we're just driving your hips upwards. Try and fire from them glutes. Get as high as you can. Dig through them heels. Yeah, get that height. Last one. There we go, halfway through. Skater jumps. On the spot, that little squat jump, put that 180 spin in as well, yeah? And we do, just make them a little bit shallower if we need to. Coming from as low as you can, up and spin. Last one. There we go, feeling them. Lunge into a high knee, so stepping back, coming through, kicking that knee through, yeah. 3 exercises to go. Stepping back, come forward, knee up, and switch. Seconds. 2 to go. Pulse squat. Not quite all the way down, not quite all the way up. Keep that tension on your thighs. Heels are down, chest up. You've done that heart rate by now. Just working through the middle part of that range. All your weights on your heels, chest up. Back flat. Last few seconds, hold it. There we go, one exercise left. Come on, we're nearly there. Back nice and flat, down to 90 degrees, heels under your knees. Last one. And then take a little shake. And muscle down, got 90 degrees, hold it there. Shoulders and head back. Make sure them arms on, and they're doing all the work. Nearly there, 10 seconds. There we go, our legs workout done. Same again, less than half an hour. Don't need that much space to do it, you don't need any kit other than yourself. Give it a go. I know there's a lot of stuff on social media about the minute where people are pushing people to be saying you should be exercising now, you need to be doing this all day, every day, we need to be doing this, that and the other. It's important to remember that we're all dealing with what we're going through differently. We all have different ways of coping. Do what you can, do you know what I mean? Not everybody has the same ability level, not everybody's got the same motivation, do you know what I mean? Just do what you can. You know, trying times for everybody. We're all in it together, we're all there to help each other. Any questions, get in touch with me or Mel or any of the Media's Heavy team. We'll be happy to help you out. I'm sure you're going to feel them legs tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in again. Stay safe, I'll see you next week.
Hi everyone. That looked really hard, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Rob's just been in touch with us over the break there, and he videoed this. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. Might have been Tuesday, and he said he's still aching now. So there you go.
Man, that was good. Yeah, he went for it there as well. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I like the one where he was on his knees and then back into a squat.
I was just about to tell you about that one.
You cannot do that outside. Don't be doing that on the concrete.
I'd done something similar to that, I think, ages ago, like a strength and conditioning thing I did, and it's honestly like the worst thing ever because there's no time for your like legs to rest. They constantly have that like
burn.
That burn.
Yeah.
It's honestly it's a rough one, that one.
It's amazing what you can do in half an hour as well.
It really is. Yeah.
Give it a go. Give us some feedback. I've already put a little comment in the feed there to see if you've got any sweaty selfies. We'd like to see them. So we'd like some evidence that you are doing these workouts.
Definitely. Well,
I had a brilliant one off Anthony last week, so absolutely. I know that you are doing them, but keep sending them in. Again, it makes us happy to see that you are actually doing all of this, and you're not doing what my Uncle Derek's doing. And he messaged me to say he was eating a scone, having his dinner. He was having a scone. He said he's working his stomach muscles, but he's enjoyed the stream today. He has really enjoyed listening to what's been going on. So all good, I suppose. But he's just had a scone and watched the video, so I might have to have a chat with him later.
Haytham says leg day is the best day.
Oh yes, a lot of people avoid it. A lot of people don't like it. But
can't skip leg day.
As we said earlier, leg day burns the most calories because of the bigger muscle group. So you burn, like we said before, about ripping all those fibers and working the bigger muscle groups. You're going to get a bigger calorie burn.
That is the one.
This is the one that you want to try and do every week. So this half an hour workout that you've just seen Rob do and kill himself doing, try and squeeze into your week somewhere. And give us some feedback. We really want to know how your legs feel after it. It might just be Robbie might not used to be doing leg day, you know. I very much doubt it. But no, it's been a pleasure as always, guys. And tune in next week. Make sure you do the survey. So if you are online, if you can't see the feed, I think the link is underneath the live stream as well. So the link can be found in there.
Yes.
But if you haven't done it already, please just spend a minute filling that out. It helps us. It helps us. Yeah, we do need it. We just need that evidence that people have been tuned in and have been watching.
Definitely.
So just spend a minute filling that out. Even if you filled out surveys for the previous stuff, it doesn't matter. We need one for every single session. So again, 1 minute of your time. If you can fill that out, it's a massive, massive big thumbs up from everybody at Media Savvy, because we do need them in.
100%.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you. Actually, if anybody wants to, tomorrow I am cooking vegetarian curry and rice.
That sounds absolutely lovely.
In my live stream at 10 a.m. in the morning. So I'm making.
Dan's buzzing on that one then, yeah?
Well, Dan doesn't really like curry, so I think I'll have to have the doors wide open just to make sure there's plenty of ventilation, because I think he might end up being sick behind the camera. So I'm making curry and rice, and then the dessert tomorrow is going to be cookies, but the healthier cookies, and I'll not say too much, but you can tune in tomorrow and find out. All right, so we've got cookies and curry tomorrow. And we've already got everybody signed up who are getting the deliveries tomorrow, because on Tuesday, 8 lucky people got their meals delivered to their door. All right. Fantastic. So after the live stream, Dan and Hatham, it was like a race to see who can deliver all of the food packages to the doors as quick as possible. So on Tuesday, after the cooking finished, within 5 minutes, the two of them were out the door and delivering right round Sunderland. So there was 8 people had their meals delivered on Tuesday, and they got pasta and bolognese, and they got orange truffles as well delivered. So they got a dessert as well. It's not every week you'll get a dessert. Depends how long the meal takes to cook, because everything's done live in the kitchen. That's but tomorrow we've got curry and we've got cookies. Obviously all the deliveries are booked up, but if anybody wants to, and you've got to live in Sunderland, sorry, so if you are in South Tyneside, we can't deliver that far. You can still tune in, you can still get involved. But if anybody wants to sample on next Wednesday, so a week, it's not even a week, on Wednesday of next week, I believe I am doing like a vegetable rice dish. Now, it doesn't sound very appetizing, but believe me, it is very, very tasty.
Yeah.
Well, I always do it vegetarian, and then what I'll do at the end, I'll tell you how you can make it non-vegetarian. It's just beautiful. It just hits a lot more palates if I make it vegetarian, and then you know how to substitute the meat in or the seafood. Definitely. So on Wednesday, I'm doing a vegetarian rice dish, and I'm doing brownies.
Ooh. I'm done.
So if you would like your meal delivered to your door after, get in touch, guys. Sign up. I've got to sign you up though. You need to do an enrolment form for these courses. Again, it's all down to funding, so we can do it for free, so we can bring that food to your door for free, but we do need an enrolment form off you, and just consent that you agree with us having your details, and that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, let me know. See what you think. Alex doesn't like orange truffles. Alex, you would like mine. Guaranteed. But no, over and out, guys. It's been a pleasure. And we have run over nearly half an hour today, which me and my chatty box. But yeah, I will see you. I might see you tomorrow. If not, hopefully see you next Thursday.
Yes, so see you later, guys. And we also have the Staying Connected stream Friday, 4 to 5. Tomorrow we've got a special guest, so stay tuned to that for that. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later. I'll see you later too, man.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.